How many of you guys are in a situation like this? You've started getting into welding, maybe you've got a couple of machines, you've got a plasma cutter, and now you've got 4 or 5 ground cables. You've got multiple stick welding stingers, and you just got cables taking up space everywhere. I'm tired of it. I don't need 4 or 5 different ground cables. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to mix and match. I'm gonna take the best of each cable, and I'm gonna kind of like pick the parts that I like and make 2 cables. I'm gonna make one, well, I've already made one. I've got my main ground here. This has got a 3570 DINS. It's got a heavy brass ground clamp. It's a 2-gauge wire. It's like 15 or 20 foot long. So I'm gonna do the same thing for a smaller ground cable that runs like a 1025 DINS for like my little 110 welder, my plasma cutters. So I'm gonna mix and match, but I'm also gonna take this opportunity. Over on the table over there, I've got like 15 or 20 feet of 4-gauge wire. It's a nice, flexible, high quality wire. And I'm going to use that to replace the wires on these, just because like this one, for example, if you look at this one close, I'm not sure how well this is going to show up, but this is a copper clad aluminum wire, which isn't as good, obviously, as like a solid copper wire, but it's also a smaller gauge, so it's not as capable of carrying as much current. It's also short. I think it's like 10 feet. So I'm going to build one cable out of these parts for my smaller welder and my plasma cutters, but I am going to mix and match. Like, for example, I like this spring clamp as opposed to this one. This one just feels like it's maybe a little bit thicker material. It feels better made, feels a little more robust, but I don't like the spring or the ground connection inside there as opposed to this one. This is like a solid brass or solid copper. This has like a braided copper. So there you can see the solid copper as opposed to this braided copper. So I'm going to take like that braided copper, put it in this one, run my new cable here, and then this is going to be a 1025. Just, that's what I'm doing today, guys. I'm building cables. Going to do the same thing for the stingers. Going to look at those and see which one has the better DINS, the better wire, and the better stinger overall, and just make one out of 2. And then I'll just salvage the rest for parts and keep them as spare parts and get rid of the garbage. Building cables today. So it's a fairly simple process. So we're just gonna start tearing these things apart and taking the parts that we want. I've got my 4-gauge wire here for building the new cable. I've got some battery lug connectors. I've got a crimper somewhere around here, but I'm just gonna start taking these apart. Like I said, deciding which parts I want from each setup. 3550. Oh, it's gonna be a 110. So this cable, this one, I'll probably keep this wire because this is a solid copper wire, thicker gauge than these 2 other cheap ones. It's got a 3550 DIN, so I'll take that off there. But yeah, I'll gut that one later. Don't need to do that now. What I want to do though is take that ground strap out of there, because I want to replace that with one of the other ones. So we're just gonna take all this apart. You know, like I said, it's not complicated. Just figure out what you want and put it together. I don't need all of these different cables taking up a bunch of space on my shelf, hanging off my welding cart, whatever. Should probably find something so I'm not working on a table with a bunch of holes in it. So that I want to keep. Those can go. And then for this one, I want just the clamp out of there. And the wire on this one can go, because this is that copper clad aluminum wire, which is just honestly, it's fine for lower amp. Perfect example, guys, of the quality of these wires. So this is, even though it's a smaller wire, this is the copper clad aluminum wire. Okay. I was scrounging parts. I was cutting off DINS connectors. that cuts super easy. This is the one that's a little bit thicker gauge, not much, but it's solid copper wire. And I started to try to cut this DINS connector off. I got through the insulation, obviously, but it took a lot more force to get that solid copper wire cut than that cheaper copper clad aluminum. And that's why you pay attention to what wires you got, because the difference in quality is substantial. Could probably be just fine, but I just want better. I want something I'm not going to have to worry about down the line. I mean, eventually everything wears out and everything's got to be replaced at some point, but all right, apparently I didn't hit record like I thought I did, but I got the new clamp braided ground in there, all ready to go. So that's all good. So now I'm messing with the cable. So I've already stripped some end off. This is like, so this is 4 gauge cable. Just going to add, I got a kit of like battery terminals and stuff like that. Going to crimp on a new end. And then I got crimpers. It's always the fun thing, trying to get everything to stay together. Nope, not enough. I got the end crimped on. Add a little bit of heat shrink on there just to clean it up. Not that it really needs it, but let me go grab a lighter. Now that can go. Got hardware everywhere. All right, so now we got a nice new ground clamps on the other end. Like I said, this is like a 15 or 20 foot cable, so this can go away. Not going to need that. Actually, I might. The DINS connector. So the one that I'm going to be using is this one here. So these are super simple. They're tight, but they just put the outer piece normally just pushes right off. I'll go fight with this. All right, so I got the DINS apart, and all it is just a little Allen head set screw in there. That is probably metric. And it just pops right off. Now, you can see what they do is inside there, they put this little like copper shim, basically. And what that does is as the set screw clamps down, it prevents the wires from going like blah, all over the place. Just kind of keeps everything together, makes for a tighter crimp. So what I did was, I thought I had some of this, but I don't. So I had to go to my local, if you're in the Vegas area, you probably know of McFadden Dale. Went over there, had to get some other parts for some other projects. I picked up a strip of this just brass. And what I'm going to do, back this out. I'll cut a strip out of this. Now that we're getting into like sharp stuff, wear gloves, protect yourself. And before I forget, where's the other end of this wire? There it is. I'm going to slip the DINS back piece on the wire now, so I don't forget, because I'll forget. Cut a strip. This is brass. You can get copper, you can get whatever. Copper, bronze, brass. But the problem is, too, it's so small, it can be difficult to bend, especially wearing gloves. I'm just going to bend it into a circle, basically make a shim out of it. Get that, that's basically ready. And then on the end of this, again, trim back like, it's like 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4. There we go, just far enough back, like that. So that will fit up inside there. Probably go a little bit more. I really want that to bottom out in there, just to get as much contact inside the connector as I can. There we go. And then I'm going to wrap that wire in that brass. And again, that just acts as like a ferrule, like a little shim. It'll keep those wires together when you clamp the back shell. When you clamp that set screw down, it just prevents everything from splaying out, and it keeps it tight. It doesn't really let it come loose. You go grab a pair of like needle nose pliers. There we go. Like I said, this, I don't have to crimp this down. There we go. Now that whole thing will fit inside there, and we can just tighten that down. If I can find the Allen wrench, there it is. And just like that, then you take the back piece there, that just goes right up. It's got 2 notches that kind of guide it onto the actual connector. Line those up. All right, just like that, everything is back together. Now I have a 1025 DINS with a good quality stamped steel clamp with a copper braided ground strap in there. That's like 15 to 20 feet long instead of the normal like 10 footer that comes with most welders. And now this one will work on my Lincoln or my 2 plasma cutters. And this one, which has the, again, the 3570, a nice big brass heavy duty clamp, 2 gauge wire, will work on my larger machines. I'm going to do the same thing with the DINS connect, or the stingers for stick welding. And it's that simple, guys. And that way now I don't have a whole pile of wires taking up a bunch of space on a shelf in my garage or hanging off my welding cart, just getting in the way. And now I know that these are good quality parts. They're going to last a good long time. Appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell. See you on the next one.